Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be diving into something that has been buzzing over the dev community for a few weeks now, that is called vibe coding. Now, this term blew up when Karpathy, if you don't know him, he's been a former director of AI and autopilot at Tesla, and he's one of the founding members at OpenAI. So this person tweeted about this vibe coding stuff a few weeks back, and after that tweet, it's kind of become this poster child for this new wave of coding with the help of AI tools where we don't even need to code apparently. But what is it, and is it as revolutionary as it sounds, or are we setting ourselves up for something messy? Let's break it down. Hi guys, if you're new here, I'm Anudeep and I work as a software engineer, and I've been making videos on this YouTube channel for a year now on topics relating to tech, entrepreneurship and AI and self-help. So if any of those things sound interesting, please consider subscribing. Enough of the plug. Let's get started. So Karpathy calls it vibe coding. He tweeted, "There's a new kind of coding I call vibe coding, where you fully give into the vibes, embrace exponentials and forget that the code even exists." Well, what does that mean? It is actually coding without coding, if that makes sense. Let me explain. Karpathy says that he barely touches the keyboard. He talks to the composer, which is sort of this sidebar area in AI coding assistants, in AI coding IDEs, where you can just, ask that AI chatbot, that ask the AI system about whatever it is in your code base, because it has context of all the information in your code base. So you can ask it about all the things and it'll help you out with that. It can even write code for you. So Karpathy says that he talks to the composer but not using his keys. He uses a tool called Super Whisper, which is a speech to text application, but you don't necessarily need to use all these expensive fancy tools. If you're on Windows, you can quickly just press Windows plus H, or if you're on Mac, you can double press the control key and the inbuilt OS speech to text tool will appear, and you can just speak and it will transcribe it on the window that you are, and you can just do vibe coding. So he says he uses simple language like decreasing the padding area on the sidebar by half, or when he hits an error, he just copy pastes the error into the composer window without even giving any context, because the AI system already has all the context of all the files that are present in the system, and so it generally fixes itself. As he says, he's not even reading the diffs anymore. So diffs are basically the changes that the AI has made, which it displays in green color as opposed to the previous code that was present in red color. And a software engineer is expected to look at the diffs and accept the ones which make sense and reject the ones which are not required, which the AI misunderstood. But Karpathy says that he just accepts all and runs the code again. And if it breaks, he asks the AI again, and it takes a few iterations, but the AI generally fixes itself. And he actually admits that this is fantastic for small weekend projects, and he's building stuff, he's speaking stuff, and he's basically coding by the vibes. But here is where things get pretty interesting. Now, before going further, my hot take on vibe coding is that it kind of sucks. Yep, I said it. Hate me if you want to. This is the ground reality. Because for the first couple of times, it feels amazing. It feels so productive. You feel like a rock star, a superstar. I remember trying for a simple web app, a simple calculator, or a basic task tracker, and in under 30 minutes, I had a pretty functional, good-looking UI with forms, buttons, and even database connections. It actually felt like magic. But then the bugs came up. The styling was not perfect, and components were not aligned properly, sometimes not justified properly, and the API calls were flaky, which is actually understandable because the AI system doesn't know what API I'm wanting to call, so that's fine. But for the most part, fixing those bugs is an actual nightmare because you have not written that code. And to fix those bugs, you have to go inside the code, you have to understand the structure, how it's been written, what frameworks have been used, and then you have to, try and iterate and fix it. It's all messy because if you ask any software engineer, he will tell you that fixing bugs is the least favorite part of a software engineer's job. In this case, AI has taken away all the joy of coding, the problem solving, the creative building, and all we are left with is this messy code, and it's not fun anymore. But that is not where it ends. Continue with me. Vibe coding gives you this illusion of productivity. As I said earlier, you will be generating multiple files and folders in a code basis just by talking to an AI, and it feels amazing, and the time it takes to create that is actually phenomenal. But here is where the problem is. If you do not know what is happening, you are in deep trouble. Most of these vibe coders I see online don't even know why the AI chose React over something else, or if it chose other libraries for this particular project, were those libraries even necessary, or what were the ideal libraries or frameworks that could have been used. And you can't make changes, you can't add features, remove features, scale it, maintain that particular software if you do not understand it. That is the main problem. Now, I've joined some live streams of vibe coding where people are trying to build these apps on the fly. And it's actually fun and cool to watch until you realize that they are just moving around components and just moving stuff around here and there without even knowing what is happening. And in this particular tutorial, he ran into a bug and he was trying to figure out how to fix it, and he was asking the chatbot to fix it, and he didn't know, so he was also learning on the go, and it was basically a shit show. Now, this is not how software is built, guys. Second guessing and coming up with a fast prototype which can be an MVP to people to pitch, who can give you funding. This is not what it's all about. Software engineering is not about this. What I'm trying to say by all of this is, if you are doing vibe coding, and if you do not know what CSS or Tailwind is, you'll be totally lost. If AI picks another framework that you are not familiar with, again you are stuck. Sure, you can ask Google and learn on the fly and prompt AI to learn about that particular thing and then implement it. But again, you are sort of guessing. A very good example of this is, and this is exactly what I saw in one of these tutorials, is that if you do not know what CSS is or what vanilla CSS is, you wouldn't know what flex means, or what align means, or what justify means, and you'd be asking the AI again these questions, and then AI would be giving its own suggestions, and you'll be trying them out again and again without even understanding what is happening, just accepting all, or accepting some changes and rejecting some without even knowing why you accepted those changes. I'm a firm believer of this saying that coding is not just about writing code, it is all about understanding so deeply so that you can scale, make changes, maintain, all that good stuff. Now, please don't think that I'm thinking all bad about this. Actually, some of the best live streams of people using vibe coding was when the developer actually know what they were doing. They had domain knowledge of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Next.js, Node.js, whatever it was. And then they were, using AI as sort of an assistant. They were creating boilerplates, they were moving components around, and they were necessarily not moving the components themselves. They were taking the help of AI. AI was doing all the heavy lifting, but the brain was theirs. And it was actually very fun to watch that. Actually, in one of these, I didn't understand what was going on, but I knew the developer knew what he was doing. And this is the actual power of AI that we have to leverage. I mean, it was very synonymous and how a senior engineer would work with a mid-level or a junior, and that's how we should be using AI as our assistants. I've been talking about this in my previous videos, but it was actually a joy to watch that, and that is what it is all about. If you are the type of person who would build something up, go to Y Combinator, they give you funding, and then it's time to scale, then you're stuck because you don't know the basics, then you hire these expensive software engineers. That's the end game if you don't know the basics. And all along this is the danger I'm talking about, the art of ignorance. You feel productive. You feel that you are making progress in building something innovative and very fast. But if you don't understand what's happening, you will set yourself up for a lot of headaches later on. So, AI is here to stay. Vibe coding is definitely here to stay, guys. Believe me. So this is how I would go about doing things if I were somebody who didn't know how to code but wanted to make my name in the tech industry. Point number 1, fix the basics. Learn HTML, learn CSS, vanilla CSS, and JavaScript. Forget Tailwind, forget Bootstrap, forget all of that. Just the basics, how buttons work, how forms work, how to style using vanilla CSS, how to add functionality using JavaScript. Step number 2, build by hand. I want you to build 2 to 5 projects by hand. No AI. Hand code every line. Create a basic portfolio website, a simple game, a simple web app, maybe an Amazon clone or whatever, but do something by hand. And surely while doing this, while making that to-do app, you will struggle, and that is where all the learning happens. And surely this time the AI is there for you, not to write code for you, but help you write code yourself. You have to do these 3 to 5 projects with the help of AI, surely, but not through them, and that will make you a proper software engineer. Step number 3, to make yourself a pro, learn a front-end or a back-end technology. Maybe React for front-end or Node.js to Next.js for back-end or whatever. But learn some technology and build 2 to 3 projects using that technology. At this step, you can actually make one of the older projects in this stage, but using these frameworks. And you'll come to know how easier it is to, build stuff using these frameworks. But even at this stage, I would not recommend you use AI. Until you have built 3 to 5 projects at this stage without AI writing code for you, you will not be a good software engineer. And finally, point number 4, after you have done all that, then you are free to do whatever you want. You can use Cursor, Copilot, whatever. You can use any of these AI tools to help you, and that is when you can actually leverage AI. In this case, AI will make you a 10x, maybe a 100x engineer, and that is when you can, differentiate yourself from the crowd, because this new generation of people, this new generation of coders who will be coming out of college, maybe some of them will be like, hey, I don't know the syntax, but I can build apps. But if you do know the syntax, if you do know the in-depths of what is happening under the hood, that will actually give you the X factor. That is my spiel. Thank you so much guys for watching this. I hope you found this helpful. Please do let me know down in the comments below what is your process of learning, any new stuff, any new tech stack, and how you guys are doing in this age of AI. I always love hearing your thoughts. And if you have watched it this far, please like and subscribe. It always means a lot. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.